Okay. Hopefully my sound is on. Why is that happening? Good morning. All right, good morning, everyone. So I'm going to wait for folks to start showing up. I just kicked this thing off. It looks like there's maybe one or two people that have already joined the live stream. So if you will say good morning and where you are tuning in from, that would be awesome. And let me know if you can hear me. Okay, so I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'm just kind of waiting for some type of confirmation that you're able to hear me, that I'm coming through clear. And I should probably say this. So I don't know what it was about one of my most previous videos, but the trolls started showing up in the comments section, something fierce. So what I've done with today's live is if you've been a subscriber for 2 months or more, then you're able to post a comment in the live chat. If you haven't been, then your chat will not show up. So I don't know if that means the 3 people that are currently viewing haven't been subscribers long enough, and that's why I can't see your comment. Not sure, but I really do want some kind of confirmation that I'm coming through clear. In the meantime, I will sip my tea. All right, we're going to get started here in a few minutes. I'm just looking for someone to give me confirmation that you can hear me, that I'm coming through. Ooh, good. The sun is coming out. Excuse me. It's been really foggy here this morning. I've never seen it look like this since I've been here. All right. We're almost 5 minutes into it, and I don't know if anybody can hear me. So, hey, Kimmy, good morning. Good morning. Kimmy, can you let me know if I'm coming through? Can you hear me? Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So we are 5 minutes after the hour. And what I wanted to do, I didn't want to hold you long. I'm thinking we'll probably go for an hour, depending, if the conversation starts flowing in the chat, then we'll keep it going. But I didn't want to go over an hour and 15 minutes at the most, because there's another live that I want to tune into that's going to be kicking off here in about an hour. Um, So welcome. I'm Terree. The channel name is Happy Girl Alaska. Those of you who are able to comment in the live stream chat, that's because you have been a subscriber for 2 months or more. So thank you so much for that. If you haven't been a subscriber for 2 months or more, your chat will not show up. And the reason why I set it up that way is I don't know what it was. I think it was 2 videos ago. There were quite a few troll comments that were left under that video. And so just to keep the community and the environment positive over here, that's why I put that restriction in place. So, Kimmy, can you remind me where you're tuning in from? All right, it looks like we have some more folks that are starting to show up. And you could just say what state, Kimmy. I don't remember if you ever shared that. And anybody else who is tuning in to the live stream, if you can say where you're tuning in from, that would be great. Listening from San Antonio, Texas. San Antonio is so pretty. I love it there. I visited maybe about 3 times, and I wouldn't mind going back. I did the river walk, of course. That's the thing that a lot of people recommend you do when you visit San Antonio. I just love it. The vibe there is so laid back. One of the places that I had, or that I'm actually considering a move to, is Texas. And I didn't think about relocating to San Antonio, Texas, but I would definitely visit a lot if I decide to move there. I'm looking at Houston, Dallas, and Arlington in Texas. So that's what's on my list. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get into the share. And basically all it is a life update for y'all. So for those of you that have been watching my channel, you know that I relocated. I moved from Anchorage, Alaska to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And it's really been a big shift. It's been a cultural shift, a life shift. A lot of things are different here, right? So I am adjusting and adapting, and it's going well so far. It hasn't been without its challenges, but that's what life's about, right? And so I just kind of wanted to give y'all an update on what's happening. I've kind of slowed down on my videos that I've been posting, and you've been getting a lot of week in the life videos from me as of late. And I've kind of gotten distracted a little bit, but I will share with you all, what that distraction is and how I'm planning to get back on track. All right. So, okay, Kimmy, let me see here. I want to address your comment before I get started. Let's see. All right, Kimmy, you said you love it here in San Antonio, Texas. People are so friendly, pretty respectful people here. That's the same vibe that I got. And I think the longest that I've been in, the longest I had been in San Antonio was probably about maybe 5 days, I think. I have a couple friends that live there. And let me take that back. I stayed in San Antonio one time. I just visited another time because I have a friend that lives in Corpus Christi. So anyway, all right. So the first thing I want to talk about is at the beginning of the year, January, I had my daughter here with me over Christmas break, and it was so nice to spend that time with her, a couple weeks. And so taking her to the airport for her to go back to school, go back to college. She's attending college in Phoenix, Arizona. I didn't anticipate how emotional I would be after putting her on that plane. You know, I'm very new to the whole empty nester thing, and just I had really been trying to work to get my mind wrapped around that and to be okay with that. But yeah, I kind of had an emotional breakdown when I saw her off. I didn't tell her that, you know, because I wanted to maintain my composure and everything. And when she called to let me know she had made it back, you know, I didn't want her to worry or anything. But that was something else. That was something else. Like I said, I didn't think I would react the way that I did, but she's thriving. She's doing so well in college. She's yeah, she's making the grade. She's socializing. She has a job. I don't know how she's able to balance it all, but she's doing a great job with that. And she'll be heading back this way for summer break. So I am really looking forward to that. I have some things planned that I want us to get into while she's here. So super excited for that. So, um, and then also at the beginning of the year, I did a lot of planning. I wanted to be intentional about this year. I said 2023 is the year that I am going to be very planful, that I'm going to be mindful about my life and about gaining structure and just accomplishing the goals that I had set for myself. And there were a lot of things that I had in my mind. I hadn't put pen to paper or typed them into my phone or into a tablet or anything, but I knew there were things that I really wanted to, that I was set to accomplish for this year. So January was a lot of planning. And what I did is for the things that I wanted to achieve this year, I decided that I was going to spend a month focusing on those different areas. And I mean, it has worked out really well for me doing that, because if you come up with a whole bunch of ideas, but you don't put measures in place to try and shoot for them, you know, or ways to measure the success of at least getting closer to the goals, a lot of times you're going to fall off. Kimmy, I believe, and you offered me some really great tips, because I do have a planner that I've been using and writing things down. And your recommendation to use different color pens, and I think you said highlighters as well, has helped me, because I mean, I got ideas and I started writing stuff down, and it kind of started looking cluttered. But when I started color coding, I guess is what I was doing. I'm able to distinguish what it is that I have planned for the day throughout the month. So that has been really helpful. You know what? You guys help me just as much as I help you. And I just want to express that. I want to say that because I mean, I don't know everything. I just throw things out there that I'm trying. And a lot of times you all have really great suggestions on how I can make it better. So thank you so much for that. But yeah, January was a lot of planning. Um, and then February, and I want to just remind you all, so the topic of today's live is I'm just going through a life update, and I would like to know what you all are getting up to as well. So feel free to comment in the chat. So February, I focused my attention on self-care and just trying to figure out what I wanted my self-care regimen to look like. And I did a 7-day of self-care challenge. And that really was a challenge, y'all. I mean, granted, it was things that I wanted to do for myself, but I was trying to come up with something different every day. I learned that I don't have to do something different every day. I can find those 1, 2 things that work for me and try and incorporate them into my week. And that was really cool. I'm glad that I did that. And here's the thing about planning too, because you can set out and have a plan in mind, but there's nothing wrong with going back, revisiting that plan and reworking it if you find that it's not working for you. right? So that's something that I learned for the month of February. You know, January was planning, February was starting to put those plans into action. And a lot of lessons learned for the month of February. I know somebody was like, how can you mess up? How can you get overwhelmed with self-care? Well, you can if you're, depending on how you're approaching it. So I found some things that really work for me. I love journaling. I love listening to affirmations. I love the guided meditations. Those things really work well for me. I love that. And if I had a bathtub here, I would be taking my bubble baths, but I don't have a bathtub. I only have a shower. So I don't know if anybody out there has a self-care practice that they've been putting into place. I know some of y'all were following along with me as I was putting out some suggestions on Instagram, and then the videos that I was sharing with you all during the month of February. I'd be interested to know. Let's see here, Kimmy. Kimmy says, sorry you were feeling sad about your daughter going back to Arizona. Like you said, she's thriving. Hold on to that. Absolutely. Absolutely, Kimmy. And that's the thing, right? It's like coming to terms with the fact that my daughter has an entire life outside of the relationship that her and I have. And the fact that she's going, I mean, she's at college now. When she's done with college, I don't know where she's going to decide to head off to, right? But as long as I know that she's thriving and that she's doing well, then that gives me a lot of comfort. And actually, that's what helped pull me out of that little slump that I was in after she left. So yeah, that's really helpful. So March, y'all, this month, oh my gosh, I got distracted, but also I injured my hand. I did something really dumb. I was getting ready to do dishes and I had my garbage disposal on, and I saw that the water was just kind of settling in the sink. It wasn't going down the drain as it normally would. And so what I did, I wasn't even thinking. I was talking to Kasia on FaceTime, and I didn't reach my hand down in the drain to try and clear, what was blocking, but I was like right on the surface part of it. And I didn't realize that there was a steak knife pointing straight up. And so the garbage disposal was on. I put my hand in there, not all the way, but just to clear the top, and it sliced my finger. I mean, I freaked out. I hadn't seen that much blood in a long time. And my neighbor was so kind. He helped get me bandaged up and everything. And I thought I was going to have to go and get stitches, but I watched it over the next few days and it seemed to be doing okay. And it's healing up. It's healing up. It's still kind of painful and it feels kind of strange when I move my index finger. But for the most part, I'm doing okay. But what that did is it put a wrench in my workout plans because I like to work with free weights. I do cardio 2 to 3 days a week, but I love doing weight training 3 days a week for sure. And so for me, I had to put the weight training to the side because if I'm using dumbbells, it was painful. It was painful. So that set me back on my fitness goals. I did get back into cardio, but I had to take about a week and a half off just because the next day after that happened, I went and got on the elliptical and I noticed that my hand started bleeding. And I was like, why is my hand bleeding? I wasn't even doing the things, when you're on the elliptical, but for whatever reason, I don't know if it opened the wound back. Well, it hadn't closed all the way, but it started bleeding. And I was just like, you know what, forget this. I'm going to just sit still. And I was bummed out because I really wanted to get after it this month, but that's fine. I've gotten back into it. I made a video actually about how to do a fitness reset because I had to reconfigure everything that I had planned to do. And that was frustrating, but I'm back at it. I feel good. I feel great. And so I'm going to just, keep striving for my goals. That was a minor setback. I'm not going to let it, hinder me. But yeah, that's what's been going on for this month. There's something else though that's kind of gotten me a little distracted, but I'll save that one till the end. Let's see here. So Kimmy, practicing self-care has been quite inconsequential for me. Yeah, it can become overwhelming. And it can. It really can. And Kimmy, I believe you have little ones at home, right? Don't you have younger children at home? And I know that incorporating self-care when you have other people that you're caring for can be challenging. So then there's that, right? But hopefully, let me see here. Hopefully you're able to, inconsistent. Okay, I see what you're saying. Practicing self-care has been very inconsistent for me. It became overwhelming. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm wondering, Kimmy, is it because you have little ones that you're looking after too? You know? Yeah, that's one of the things that I think could be challenging as well. But then if you're approaching it like I was, trying to do something different every day, I mean, that's just way too much. You got to figure out what works for you, right? Figure out what works for you and then schedule it into your day. So as far as nutrition, I have I've been doing all right with that. For some reason, I got on this kick. So I went to Church's Chicken because it has been a long time since I had Church's Chicken. And that's the thing, y'all. They have so many different stores, so many restaurants that we do not have in Anchorage, Alaska. And so for me, I've kind of been like a kid in a candy store. I've been so excited to go and visit these other places. So I got on a fried food kick. I hadn't had fried food in forever. So I went to Church's Chicken. It was trash. I don't know if it was the location that I went to where the chicken tasted bitter. It was not good. I was not a fan. I am not a fan of Church's Chicken. And then I went to, what is the place that people just always talk about? Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A. So my daughter, she loves Chick-fil-A. They have one on her campus. And she's always like eating those waffle fries, not always, but a lot of times. And so I was like, okay, let me go to Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A was good. I give Chick-fil-A a thumbs up. I'll go again, but it's not something that I want to frequent. But yeah, Chick-fil-A was very good. I enjoy that. So Chick-fil-A and Cane's, I think, will be my cheap fast food restaurants if I decide to do that. So that was really good. But other than that, I started out this month doing like a 1,200 calorie type of meal plan. And what I was trying to do is setting myself up to do the Lori Harvey fitness and meal plan. And I was going to film the whole thing. Y'all, my body was like, no, ma'am, you are absolutely not going to do that, because I was doing the fitness and the meal plan, and the amount of calories that I was burning during my workout versus what I was taking in as far as my food was concerned had me feeling horrible, horrible, horrible. And the thing is that I know that you want to be in a calorie deficit. And I was thinking, okay, this will be a really cool and neat experience. But the thing is that it started affecting my mood at work. I was getting snappy. I was tired. It was just a lot. It was a lot. And I didn't correlate the fact that I was at such a low, I was at a caloric deficit to how my behavior was, until I was like, you know what, forget this. I'm going to have some burgers. So I went and warmed up some beef patties. I had 2 of them. And when I tell y'all, I felt like a brand new person, I'm not lying. I felt like I think I recorded it too, because I was like, I didn't feel like myself. I really didn't. And I don't know, maybe if I would have continued over the course of the week, if I would have gotten used to that. But man, Oh my gosh. So 1,200 calories, if I'm working out, definitely doesn't work for me. I think I want to stay within like the 1,500 calorie range. I think that works for me. That works for my body. So I don't know if anybody tuning in has any tips or anything like that. You know, if you're into fitness and nutrition, I'd love to hear from you. Um, but yeah, you know, fitness and nutrition, I'm still finding my way and what works for me during this month. And it's something that I am going to continue to pursue throughout the year. But yeah, you know, you live and you learn. You live and you learn. Um, let's see here. So Kimmy, yeah, I have a small kiddo and a spouse. Plus, my parents flew in from March. Sis, I'm tired. Kimmy, oh my God. Bless you. Bless you. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot, especially having folks that are coming in. I don't know if they were staying with you, but you want to make sure that they're entertained and you, you know, I'm one of those people. If I have people visiting me, I don't want to skimp. I don't want to miss out if we're like going out to enjoy a meal or something like that. Um, yeah, for sure. For sure. I could see how March could be challenging for you with all of that going on. You got your hubby there and your kiddo and your parents. That's a lot. And when my physical activity becomes limited, I focus on fasting, nutrition, and mindfulness until I can get back to physical training. That is a really good tip, Kimmy. So, Kimmy, do you do intermittent fasting or do you maybe fast for the whole day? It sounds like you have different approaches depending on what's going on in your level of fitness activity. So, I would love to hear more from you on that because the thing is, I've been researching intermittent fasting and I'm trying to figure out what's a really good eating window for me because I find that usually around 11 o'clock is when I really start getting hungry. So I would say 11 o'clock is when I want to eat. And then, but figuring out when to cut that window off is something that I've been struggling with because I've said, okay, I'll eat between 11 o'clock and 4 o'clock. But then I noticed that I start getting snacky around 6 o'clock. So I just don't know. I'm going to have to research that a little more and then play around with it, I think. Can you share, because you said you do intermittent fasting, what is, how wide is your eating window? I'm curious. Or if you want to share how wide your fasting window is because I know that there are a lot of benefits with fasting. I follow quite a few channels where they talk about fasting. What is the one? A Healthy Alternative is a really good one. They have a fasting community. It's fabulous. I love it. All right. So also for the month of February, I got into some beauty treatments. So I went and got my lashes done. I did two different forms of services on my eyebrows. Neither one of them worked. One was I did, what was it? Eyebrow tinting, I think. And that only lasted for a couple weeks and it was supposed to last for 4 to 6 weeks. And then I went and got the henna on my eyebrows. That was supposed to last 6 to 8 weeks. It only lasted a couple weeks. And the reason why I wanted to go and get that treatment is because my eyebrows are so thin. They're really thin. When I was a kid, I had chicken pox and I had them all up in my eyebrows. It was terrible. And I actually have a scar from when I had the chicken pox as a kid and my eyebrows never really grew back. So either I'm penciling them in or, you know, doing something to make them look fuller. So I figured, okay, let me cut back, make this less low maintenance, go and get the eyebrow tinting. Like I said, that was a bust. Get the henna. That didn't work. So I think what I'm going to do next is get the microblading. I got microblading probably about 6 years ago and it lasted a pretty long time. And I really did like the look of it. I just didn't like anybody who knows what microblading is. They're cutting you, like making little nicks on the surface of your skin and putting dye or something. on there to make it look like it simulates eyebrows. So I'm thinking about doing that. They have a nano technique that is out now. So I think what I'm going to do is look into getting that. We'll see though. We'll see. Um, let's see what else. And then the lashes, y'all. Oh my gosh. Okay. So that first set of lashes that I got was ridiculous. It was like when I was blinking and I could pull it off because I have larger eyes, but I was just like, this is giving baby bop big time. I was not feeling it. I was just like, I don't like that. So I let my eyelashes grow out and I went back and I got what they call like the classic set. And I really like that. To me, it looks more professional. I did feel like the longer lashes give more of like a feminine, dramatic look to the eye, which is what they're supposed to do. But I think I'm going to lean more on the classic side and just continue getting the classic lashes. So I have an appointment coming up next week to get that done. So I'm really looking forward to it. And then what other treatment did I get? I got the dermaplaning, where they use a scalpel to remove the peach fuzz from your face. And I have to be honest with you, I really do like the dermaplaning, and I will go back probably in. So I have a trip coming up next month, so I think I'll go. I'll probably go. I need to make an appointment to go back and get that done at the beginning of April, maybe the second week in April. So I like that because your skin is smooth. Your makeup application goes on a lot better. Your skincare, to me, it seems like it penetrated my skin a lot easier and it was more efficient. I mean, my skin was glowing. I loved it. So I'll definitely be doing that again. And then the hydrofacial. That hydrofacial. The name for me is just so deceiving. It's so deceiving because when I got the hydrofacial, I thought it was going to make my skin look more plump, more radiant. And that's what it's supposed to do. Because I know that when I've gone in before to get a facial, they've said that my skin is a little dehydrated. And I think that's because I hadn't been drinking enough water, but then also I'm a coffee drinker. So you want to make sure that you balance that out and it's reflecting in your skin. So I went and got the hydrofacial and I noticed that my skin felt really tight. My face felt really tight afterwards. But then I got a rash on my neck. And I don't know if that was from the product they were using or if it was from the machine. And I have to be honest with you all, that machine is kind of painful. I didn't like how it felt. So I will definitely not go back and get that again. So yeah, those are some things that I tried out as far as beauty treatments. And I really do, one of the months is going to be focused on beauty and skincare and all of that stuff. So, and then I did a no spend challenge and I needed to do that because my Amazon shopping was just, it was insane. It got out of hand. And part of it is because I'm wanting to get home decor for my place, but at the rate that I was shopping, it was ridiculous. So I really did like doing the 21-day no spend challenge. I had a couple missteps, but it was mostly because I was going out and purchasing fast food. But other than that, it went really, really well. I was proud of myself at how well I did with that. All right, let me take a look at the comments here. Let's see, Kimmy, you do intermittent fasting. You said you fast around 16 to 18 hours. My feeding window is 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., but honestly, I don't eat after 6. See, that's where I want to get to because this is something that I found out. If I don't have a full meal, after 6 o'clock, I sleep better. I sleep a lot better. And so there's definitely something to that. Yeah. So let me see. Oh, thank you, Kimmy. Your skin looks beautiful. You have tried a lot of self-care. I have. And here's the thing, Kimmy, I'm not one of those people that naturally has nice skin. And the reason why I say that is because I have a lot of texture to my skin, and I also have a lot of moles. And my skin is just like my mom's, the skin on my face for the most part. And so next, I want to try to find something that's going to help combat the textured skin. I started exfoliating a lot more, and I think that is helping. But yeah, I definitely want to look into that. So thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate it, Kimmy. Thank you. Okay, so I have another no spin challenge coming up for the month of April. And what I'm going to do is invite you all to participate in that. Matter of fact, that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to kick off the no spin challenge April 1st, and I'm going to go for 21 days. And that is going to be interesting because I also have a trip coming up in April. I'm heading off to Morocco. And so it's kind of like, okay, while I'm there, I got to try to stick to the whole no spin thing, but I believe I can do it because I'm going to be there for some time. So I'll have an opportunity after those 21 days that I can do some shopping. Because whenever I travel for vacation, I don't buy a whole lot of stuff. I'm not one of those people that's going to pick up a bunch of tchotchkes or anything like that. I'll probably get some jewelry. That's what I've been doing as of late whenever I travel, especially outside the US. So I'll probably pick up maybe a necklace or some earrings or maybe even a ring, something like that. But yeah, so the month of April, I'm going to be doing a no spin challenge. I'll post it out on the community page. And if you all want to participate in that with me, that would be awesome. That would be cool. Okay, let me see here. So midlife reset. Yeah, so I'm still focusing on trying to figure out the different areas that I want to approach differently. So I have my whole year planned out for the different things that I want to focus on every month, but then figuring out how I want to go about it because I don't want to do too much because that's what I tend to do. So that's something that I'm looking at. And then also the Sunday reset. So I don't know if you all got a whole lot of value out of the Sunday resets or the monthly resets. If you did, let me know, because the thing is that I'm trying out all types of different content and topics and stuff like that. So based on the engagement, kind of helps me figure out what type of content I should be putting out there. So I would love to hear from you all on that. And then let's see here. Socializing. So I have been doing a lot more socializing. I've been getting out, meeting new people. I'm a member of a social club that is really cool. It's predominantly, well, it's all Black women that I am hanging out with, and it's been awesome. I love the ranges of age and the different levels of interest that people have. It's been cool. And the thing is that I realized that I need to open myself up to new experiences and trying things that I had never considered if I wanted to broaden my social circle, right? And so that's what I've been doing. And I've shared with you all that I'm an introvert. And so I have to be real careful with how much time I am spending outside my home because when I get back, I'm exhausted. But just paying attention to that and honoring that has been great. But yeah, everybody that I have met and interacted with so far these are phenomenal women, y'all. These are women that are doing amazing things. And I mean, even down to there's a woman who lives on a farm with her husband, and she has 2 children, 2 boys, and she's active in her community and she's just active with her kids and the way she is with her husband, and there are other women that know her that can vouch for how she is and stuff. And so I just think it's just really cool. And the interesting thing about it is she's in her mid to late 20s. And then we have one woman that's in her 60s that's a part of the group. And there's about, I think, 15 to 18. and it's a combination of women from Oklahoma City and Tulsa. So I'm getting an opportunity to see more of Oklahoma because of that, because we'll either have events here or we'll have events in Oklahoma City, or we'll meet in the middle. And I love that. And so the different activities that we have planned for the rest of the year, and our president, she's amazing, are going to be so good. Are going to be so good. And I haven't shared with them that I have a YouTube channel yet, because I don't want them to feel weird. And I just try to capture a little bit of content here and there. But yeah, I'm sure as time goes on, because our president, she's like, well, I want to know what you guys do on the side, you know, if you have a side hustle or if you have a hobby or something like that. And so I'm thinking about maybe sharing with them that I have a channel at that time. We'll see. I don't know yet. We'll see. Let's see. Kimmy, how does one do a no spend challenge with a family? Any tips? So Kimmy, and that's a really good question. When I say no spend, I definitely purchase the necessities. But what I mean is like frivolous spending, you know, things that I don't need. If it's something that I want, I put it on the back burner and I just postpone it. And here's the thing, you know, when I did the no spend challenge the first time, I still went to Amazon. I still put stuff in my cart. But as the days went on, I started moving things out of my cart, or I put them in the save for later. And then I set up a wish list. And some of the things after the 21-day no spend challenge, I did go back and purchase. But for the most part, a lot of it I did not. It was just kind of like going through the exercise of putting things in the cart and then taking them out. I don't know. It was definitely a mental thing for me. But what I would say is, and maybe I should do a video about how to do a no spend challenge. I think that's a really good idea. Just purchase the things you need, I would say, for no spend. And if you have a family, if it's something that your kids want, then maybe you allow that. But I'd say for yourself personally, you know, I would say make it about you. And if you're a shopper like me and you like to buy things for yourself, things that you really don't need, then I would say that's what you could look at doing for those 21 days. So that would be my recommendation. Terree, how did you find the friends group of Black women? I made 2 new friends, but they're Korean women. So I found out about it through another woman that I met that lives here in the same apartment complex that I live in. Because I had heard about it. It's the Black Girls Social Club. And I thought it was really cool. You know, I love the concept of it. But for me, I'm always kind of skeptical about things like that, because I don't know if they're real or if they're just kind of, you know, pretending to be a legit organization, and then they get your money and then that's it. But I found out that it was real. And this woman was just raving about it and talking about how she made really great connections. So what I would say, Kimmy, is look to see if they have a chapter in San Antonio, Texas. I know they have chapters in Texas, that's for sure. But just take a look and see, and check out their Instagram page. You know, they post quite often out there, and I don't know, it's been awesome for me. It's been awesome. And I love, again, like the different range of interests and everything. It's been really, really cool. And if you all remember, I went through the 23 goals that I had for 2023. And one of them is I wanted to make friends with Black women. You know, I wanted to build a network of Black women that I could be friends with. So there you go. Let's see. Yeah, so that's what's been going on with the social life and getting out more. My decluttering and downsizing efforts are a work in progress. I've gotten rid of quite a few boxes. You'll probably see behind me, there's a stack of boxes there. So I'll be working my way through that. My bedroom, on the other hand, is another story. There's so many boxes in there. It's a lot, but a lot of those boxes belong to my daughter. And so I'm getting a wardrobe so that she could put her stuff in there when she comes to visit for the summer. And that should take care of a lot of that stuff. And then also there are some things that I'm going to be selling on Poshmark. So there's that. But yeah, the decluttering, downsizing has gotten a lot easier since I've been here because I'm in a smaller space than when I was in Alaska. And it's been a lot easier to make the hard decisions. And what I have to say about decluttering for me is that I feel so much lighter. The more things that I get rid of, the lighter I feel. So I love that. And then let's see what else. So I wanted to talk about the weather here in Tulsa. And I said I wasn't going to make any Tulsa videos, but I'm going to make some Tulsa videos because I think Tulsa is a really neat city. I think it's so cool. And to me, it's kind of like Anchorage in a way that it's a hidden gem. I really do. I think Tulsa is slept on the same way that Anchorage is slept on. And to be honest with you, I've met quite a few people who either lived in Alaska or are from Alaska. So that is interesting. That has been really interesting. So I'm going to make some videos about Tulsa. I think it would be cool to share that with you all. I don't want that to be the channel focus, but it is going to be one aspect of my channel. One thing I'll say about Tulsa, though, is I love the fact that we don't have snow here. I mean, I love that. But it is cold, y'all. It is so cold. And the cold here is different because it's humid and it's windy. And I didn't plan for that. But I'm glad because I was going to box up all of my jackets, all of my coats and gloves and all my winter stuff and put it away. But I'm glad I kept it out because it's really cold. It's cold here in the wintertime. So I'm like, maybe I need to find a place that I go to in the winter because I want to be warm, right? Even in the wintertime. That's why I know that Oklahoma is not a permanent place for me. Definitely not Tulsa. Not because I don't like it here, but just because I want to live somewhere where it's warm just about all year round. That's what I'm looking for. And if I want snow, if I want cooler weather, I'll get on a plane. Simple as that. What else did I want to talk about? I wanted to talk about, give you all an update on breast reduction. So I've had some ladies reach out to me mostly on Instagram about getting a breast reduction because I hit my 1 year anniversary. And I think, did I post a picture? I gotta see. I meant to post a picture out on Instagram of a before and after wearing the same dress. Wearing the same dress that I was wearing before I had the surgery. And so what I'll say, if there's anybody who's watching this live stream, if you're catching this on the replay, do it for you. You know, that needs to be your decision. I can remember I wasn't even dating this guy, but I told him that I was thinking about getting a breast reduction and he freaked out like it was something he was doing with his life. And I'm just like, you got to do what works for you. It's your life, your health. Get it done if it needs to happen. There are some really great supportive breast reduction Facebook groups out there too. So if I can remember, I'll put some recommendations out there. But I mean, you have ladies that have either gone through the breast reduction or they're thinking about it. And there are women that are on there that have been members for years. And they've said, you know, I've gone back and forth about getting the surgery. A lot of it is fear, but some of it is judgment. They're worried about what their friends and family are going to say if they go and get a breast reduction because they're thinking that people might say, oh, well, you're just getting that for looks, for aesthetics. Even if that's the reason why you're getting a breast reduction, so what? I mean, if they're not paying for it, who cares? Who cares? All I can say is that getting the reduction for me helped me get my life. Helped me, I don't want to say get my life back because I was struggling for years. I didn't know that I was struggling to breathe until I got that reduction. It was almost immediate. The way that I look at my clothing now, I love that. That's the aesthetic part of it, but so what? I feel great. I feel more youthful now. Um, again, having more energy because I'm not lugging those things around. And I don't feel like I lost anything, to be honest with you. I still look very feminine. And to be honest with you, my breasts are still pretty full, but I know they're a smaller size. I went from a 32H to a 34C. And I would not trade that for anything. I love that. What I'll say though is celebrate your body. Don't get down on yourself if you're a busty girl. There's nothing wrong with that. There's so many options out there, so many different brands that make bras that actually support you. When I found some strapless bras that fit my 32Hs, honey, I celebrated. I was telling all my friends about it, so love where you're at, but there's nothing wrong with doing things that are going to improve your quality of life, period. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about? Okay, so I want to talk about what I'm reading because along with area of focus every month, I have books that accompany that. So for the month of February, I was focused on self-care. So I was reading Sacred Pampering Principles by Debrina Jackson Gandy. And then for the month of March, and it's kind of been hit and miss, but I'm reading this book called Food, Fitness, and Faith. And it helps to incorporate biblical principles along with, secular principles. It's a combination of the two for practical application. And it's been really good. I love this book. I have it right here. Let me show y'all. So Food, Fitness, and Faith for women. But to be honest with you, men can read it too. It's not, when you start reading and getting into it, it's not really gender focused. So I think men could use that as well, but they may have one for men. I'm not sure, but it's really good. It's a great way to start the day. And then it has a little area in there where you can do some journaling and stuff. So I really love that. And then for the month of April, I'm not sure what I'm going to read yet. I'm not sure yet. And I'm also reading another book. I'm one of those people, y'all. I will read multiple books at the same time. Witness to Fitness. So I think y'all are probably familiar with Donna Richardson Joyner. Yeah, she's like a fitness enthusiast from back in the day, and she's just amazing. And so again, she's using biblical principles to help motivate you on your fitness journey. I love it. Let me see. What else? I shared with y'all that I've been working with a therapist, and I don't talk a whole lot about that because to me, that's very personal. But I'm glad that I decided to do that. I'm working with a therapist who is online, and she is really helping me to uncover some things. I've been to therapy before, and I got into a place to where I felt like I was in a really good place, but only to find that there was more. There was more. I needed to go deeper, and I find that I am a lot more transparent this go around because number one, it's expensive. So I really want to get my money's worth, and I want to make sure that I just want to get past some things, right? So that my latter years can be wonderful and joyous. So we talked a little bit about, and I shared this on Instagram, that I have bitterness, so we've been working through that. And one thing that's interesting that she shared with me, because, what I do have some bitterness and resentment. What happens is if you experience childhood trauma and you are constantly exposed to the individual or individuals that are causing that, but you're kind of forced to bond with them, it's detrimental to your child's development, and it's detrimental to them as an adult, because you kind of develop a form of Stockholm syndrome, right? Because you're expressing an affinity and care and building a bond with someone who is traumatizing you. And that's not okay. And a lot of people don't think about that. They don't think about that. So I mean, it's been a lot. I've cried a lot, y'all. But I know that in going through that, that my growth and development is going to be accelerated, because again, I really want to live a joy-filled life. That is my goal. That's something that I'm really focusing on for this year, So you got to open yourself up. If you're going to go to therapy, you can't try to hide through, and those therapists are really good. They can tell when you're not being completely open and honest. And to me, you owe it to yourself to do just that. All right. So what's up next? So I'm getting close to winding down this video, because I know that there's another live stream that I want to tune into. And Kimmy, I'm pretty sure you're going to be on that one too. So what's up next? I want to do more lives. I enjoy doing the late night conversations. So that's something that I want to make a regular thing. He said, she said, I love getting the male perspective on different topics. A lot of them based around midlife. So you'll be seeing more of those. We have one coming up March 31st. So please mark your calendars. I hope you're in attendance. I'll probably have a glass of wine in my hand. You absolutely do not have to have a drink in your hand. So I'm looking forward to that. And I do want to do some travel videos. Like I said, I'm going to make some about Tulsa. And then when I go to these other places as part of the social club, but then I'm going to be traveling out of country. So I'll capture some footage on that trip. Morocco was never on my bucket list. It wasn't. But considering the group of ladies that are going to be going, I am super excited about that, and I cannot wait. And then also, I've been getting a lot of questions about Alaska through my website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just compile all the questions, and I'm going to do a live stream. I'll give you all enough advance notice, those of you who miss the Alaska content, and I'll just do a Q&A running through those questions. And if anybody else has questions during that live stream, we'll go ahead and get those out, because I don't anticipate making any more videos about Alaska. But then again, I love being helpful, right? So if that's something that I can do, then maybe every now and again, I'll post some videos about Alaska. We'll see. Okay, Kimmy, you said you went back and watched my video on how to measure your bra size. Thank you, thank you. Yes, ma'am. You are so welcome. You're so welcome. And you know what? It's interesting how many of us don't know how to measure our bra size. I didn't for a long time. So I'm glad you found that helpful. And like I mentioned in a previous video, there was a man who has a daughter, she's developing, and he stumbled across my video, and he learned how to measure her. He didn't feel comfortable measuring her, but it had to be done. So I'm happy to help. Happy to help. Well, Kimmy, I feel like this was like a private conversation. I don't mind it though. I love that. Thank you so much for keeping me company on this live. So we're right at the hour. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Yeah, I like doing these life update type of lives, but we have a lot more lives that are coming up. Again, March 31st, we're going to have another late night conversations. He said, she said. The topics is going to be pretty interesting. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, y'all, thank you so much. It looks like there are 8 people who tuned in. I appreciate you. Kimmy, again, thank you for keeping me company. I appreciate you. I will see you over at the other live stream. I'm pretty sure you're going to be going where I'm heading off to. All right. All right, you all. Take care. Have an amazing weekend. And I will see you next time. Bye.